Hey, ladies.
I said one.
Hey, sisters.
I feel like we have not chopped it up in forever. Looked up the last video and it's been like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 is a magical number. We was on vacay, baby.
Since our last video. Can y'all hear my music? Is it too loud?
I don't hear anything now.
Well, if y'all do, I do not own the rights to the music that is playing from my Pandora app. Okay? That does be great.
All I hear is my Jill Scott over here.
So, what y'all been up to?
Oh my God. So many wonderful things.
We might have to do a video on what happened on vacay.
Okay. I'm loving the energy that we are coming out of. What about y'all?
Listen, I have never been more happy to see Mercury get out of here.
Me
and get this
too.
Get this shadow and get out of here because I'm already feeling the new moon energy is already coming on really, really, really heavy and intense. What about y'all? Yeah?
Mercury retrograde didn't bother me. All I got was a flat tire on my bike. I don't like that.
Please. I had to get a new battery for my car.
Yeah. So that's huge. And speaking of cars, I ran mine into a gate. So
there you have it. There you have it.
Mercury is my car.
Mercury retro rules. For those of you who don't know, technical issues with cars, cell phones, your washing machine can break down, communication issues.
Yeah, all the things that are imperative.
Exactly. My GPS broke down.
See?
When I was trying to get home.
All the things that you really, really need. This is the time where you have to figure out how to get along without it.
Exactly. And it's funny because before I realized that this was a thing, I never paid attention to what was going on in the sky. And a lot of people really don't understand how it's literally a direct impact on your life.
It's a powerful energy. The cosmos, the planets, the stars, the moon, all this is, and we're made. I think most people know we're made up of energy. So energy affects energy. That's just science, right?
I got in the elevator and I had to press the 4th floor like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times. I was kind of nervous because I thought I was going to get stuck in the elevator. But I don't really think it was that bad.
What?
And I don't usually have crazy intense things, but for some reason, this moon was in what sign?
Cancer.
This moon was in Cancer, and baby, let me tell you, that little crab, I felt them little, a crab, that's the anyway, let's move on.
My daughter's a Cancer. Move forward. Like my girl.
You know them little tongues they have? Baby, I felt all of that.
Oh gosh.
It's funny how it
Shout out to the Cancers.
Shout out, Cancers.
That's right. Cancer season. It's funny how it affects people different ways, though. I've been having a marvelous, wonderful. I haven't felt any crazy energies. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it was intense for me. Like, it was a lot of crying going on in this season. I mean, it was just a lot of It was intense. Yes. I felt the energy was intense.
That was Chiron. Chiron was doing a little situation this weekend. The wounded healer. So it brings up things for healing, things from the past, and some rest of some things that really need to come up. So that's really probably what it was.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
With the moon, magnified that Chiron energy. Probably what happened.
But
Yeah.
thank God it's done and we're moving forward in some planets now because I feel the forward movement, y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Astrology did say everything was going to pick up the middle of July and start moving extremely fast.
And go. I mean, let's go.
And
Yeah.
my card, well, no, I didn't pull cards the first taping and we started the video, right? So while y'all were gone, I was pulling cards. And if okay, so the card fell out. I know we're gonna do it at the end of the video. So the card fell out and I said, I didn't pay no mind. So I just started shuffling. But what spirit wants. Okay. I ended up getting the same card that fell out.
Whoa.
Yeah, see? Because you always shuffling and then you're like, I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to get it. I'm like, you're not supposed to be doing that.
Yes. And then when it came out, when it fell out, I was like, oh my God, spirit said, I said.
Exactly. Because you are not supposed to be doing that. Whatever comes out is what you're supposed to use.
Exactly.
Spirit say, I said what I said.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we'll save that for the end. So what you guys got going on today for the topic?
We better get into it because our time is probably going to run out on this topic.
You saw how I looked that up? What we got for the topic?
The topic is
Yeah.
Mind yours. Okay.
Mind your business. Nanya.
mind the business that pays you. How many ways?
Like the infamous Tabitha Brown says, that's my business.
That's my business.
Now, I'm sure y'all have heard all of those sayings, all of those ways to say, mind your business. Pay attention to what's paying attention to you.
Yes. Can we talk about how Will and Jada had 18 million plus viewers on that
That's
Red
not a
Table
surprise.
Talk behind their personal business? Personal.
That's not a surprise.
What say you? So
I mean, they made the video and they put it out there. They knew people was gonna watch it.
what say you?
What say me?
18 million. That's a lot of people.
Plus.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's Will and Jada.
Well, you know what I really think it is? I think it's because for so many years there's been that little taboo with their relationship, with the openness, and people weren't really doing that then. So since it's been such a long topic, what's going on with Will and Jada with this open relationship and what are they really doing? It's almost like a break in the case. Okay, everybody was wondering what's been going on with them, and now all of a sudden something, because nothing's really come out before now. Even though they were talking about open relationship and talking about they can do whatever, I don't think Will's ever been caught doing anything at all, actually, which most men usually are caught doing something, but neither one of them have really been caught doing anything. So I think that whole open relationship thing was a big deal because of that. So there's been rumors, and now there's a break in the case. So everybody is like, what? And I haven't watched anything about it at all, actually. I heard a little bit, but I don't really know what's going on. But I do know August Alsina is from NOLA. Shout out to him. And I know he's taking care of, I think his sister's children died. His sister died, I think it was. So he took the kids on when his singing career was going, and he kind of fell back from that. And I know he was staying with them at one time, but that's really all I know. I don't know anything else.
What say you, Nalo?
Well, y'all know I know because Jada. I mean, what else? Everybody knows I'm a huge fan of Jada. And Will too. But it's so much to say. But I mean, I guess for the sake of Keisha saying she hadn't really been keeping up, so the story goes. I haven't done any fact checking, so fact check me or not. It doesn't matter. Alcina August, should I say, August Alsina started out as Jaden's friend. And so he was going through some health issues. He wasn't well. So that's kind of how they say it came about. They were trying to help him go through some healing. And this was like some physical healing and also some substance healing. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. And so that's kind of how they say that kind of started or whatever. So I think I could see it from both sides, what people are saying, because I kind of knew about all of that stuff. And people are saying some mean things. They're calling Jada a predator. Because she knows his history and she knows what he had been through as far as being molested as a child and, you know, just some health issues and some other things. So that's kind of, at least this is my perception of what they're thinking, you know, that she knew the backstory, so they're calling her a predator. I don't know if I would go as far as to say she a predator, right. But I don't think I really like the word entanglement. And I think that's kind of what got people in an uproar too, because she chose entanglement. And in the video, if you watch the clip, Will was like an entanglement, like it was a relationship. Like, so people felt like she tried to downplay it, like it wasn't really that thing. And then she turned around, she said, yeah, well, that's what I said. You know, I got in an entanglement with August. Go ahead.
I'm glad you brought that up, Nalo, because for some reason, I have been hearing a lot of negative feedback about these two, and I have always been for the underdog. I'm just for the underdog. So I Googled the meaning of entanglement. And because Derek Jackson didn't, and he chopped him up too. And so many people calling her sick for sleeping with somebody that's sick, even though she expressed that she was not in a healthy place herself. I need us to listen. Okay, because that right there deserves, let me say that again. She was not in a healthy place herself. She admitted that. Okay, so I looked up entanglement. Entanglement means, Google it, I did it, a complicated or compromising relationship or situation. Which is, if we go back and we look at the history of everything and we listen to the Red Table Talk again, that's exactly what I got from that. Just because she didn't use the word relationship, I don't see that downplaying it. It is complicated. It was a situation, which was a relationship. I don't understand.
I have a question. Why is this an issue?
That's what I don't get.
If they're in an open relationship, why is this an issue? If they already said they were in an open relationship and all this other kind of stuff was going on, is it the fact that we didn't know about it? And then I have another question. How old is August? When we talk about being taken advantage of, okay, let's hear that.
So you can Google that while I'm answering your first question, because I was going to get that earlier, but I didn't have time. But I think people are making this an issue because of first of all, because they're celebrities. Okay, let's start there. And the fact that people do this every day, all day. This is not anything new. They didn't create this. But I personally never heard Will and Jada come out and say, we have an open relationship. Yeah. I think they both have said, whatever you need to do that makes you happy, do that. And I'm 10 toes down. But that's left to interpretation.
Thank you.
They never said we're in an open relationship and my mate can go out and do, at least I never heard it. And if I'm wrong, check me. If not, let's move on. So I think that's more of the issue, that people have put them on such a high pedestal. Yes. As if they are not human beings and they can't make mistakes and they don't have shortcomings and they don't have growth. spiritual growth and physical growth like everybody else. I mean, I think that's a problem because, you know, they just like us. They're regular people. Yes, they have notoriety and they're celebrities and all that kind of stuff, but we can't put all of our, oh my God, like now my world is crushed because of Will and Jada. There's been a crack, you know, in the most solid foundation known to man. I mean, come on. It's like, let the people go through what they're going through. You know, marriage is hard, and I can speak on marriage because I am married. And I've been married before, and I too was in an entanglement, if you want to call it that. But I was not in a good place mentally, and I was seeking outside. Like she said, I just wanted to feel good. That's what she said, which again is a problem because she was looking outside, and like the same thing with me, I was looking outside for somebody else to feel this happiness void. It's always going to cause a problem because that's not where the happiness is. The happiness isn't here.
And she said that. She said, until I realized that happiness is within. That's what she said.
Right. And yes, that can happen to a celebrity. They can get a wake up and they can get a realization. It's okay. Yes, it can happen in your 40s and your 50s. You can get a realization. It's not like they're supposed to have it all figured out. I mean, come on.
I like what you said.
Will did come to the interview a little scruffy and a little looking a little, you know, like he had been crying for days.
Keisha,
like
you gotta go watch it, Keisha.
I mean, they have little clips on social media, so I did see Will looking. I saw Jada's looking very refreshed, I might say. Will did a little scruffy. And
I don't think that was from Jada at all, though. I think that's from the whole world's backlash. Like the world just completely turned on him.
No, I'm not saying that was from that. I'm saying that his appearance put into more people saying, "Oh my God, Will looks bad." You know, his eye, like he was looking tired and he looked still angry, even though this happened damn near 5 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. This don't have nothing to do with. This don't have nothing to do. Will already knew this. I feel like his frustration is with the public. We're non-supportive, non-loving people. We are judgmental. We want to throw the book at because you don't have a perfect marriage. And so I hate you. Come on now. That's not reality. Just like with Jay-Z and Beyonce. People were coming, the beehive was coming for Jay-Z. Okay. And just like with Michael Jackson, may God rest his soul, they had people committing suicide from this man's death. We gotta stop. Putting these people on pedestals as if they're not human, like Nalo said.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found out that August Alsina is 27 now. So if that happened 5 years ago, he was what, 22? Jada is 40, I think 8. So there's a 21-year difference between them in age. So at that time, let's see how old Jada was, because then we can talk about being taken advantage of, because 22 years old is a baby.
Well, wait, let's go back. Okay, so when you watch Red Table Talk, she mentioned that they took in August Alsina as kind of like, you know, a project or like adopting him into the family because of his illness and trying to help him. So they took on that. In the midst, at the same time, she mentioned that her and Will were having some serious issues and she was not happy and all she wanted to do was feel good. So number one, and I'm not even a psychiatrist and I know this, hurting people hurt people. Number one. Number two, she said, I just wanted to feel good. Well, Abraham Hicks will tell you that. If you go back and research her studies, she says that that's why all of us do the things that we want to do, period, in order to feel good.
Yeah.
As a being. Yeah. So this is like a recipe, like a gumbo for, like, my marriage ain't right. I'm close to this young man. And then I'm a healer on top of that. And we all know, as being healers ourselves, sometimes we can't figure out who's the patient and who's the lover.
That's right.
Okay.
Right.
You gotta come on in here.
Exactly. So I need us to have some type of level of compassion and really listen to what she's saying. And for the love of God, we need to be aware and conscious of what's really going on here.
I have another question. Does Jada and August have a problem with it?
August is the one that really told it all. And I feel like I was mad at first. And I was like, how he gonna just expose everything like that when it's personal and private? However, if you need to heal, I get it. It needs to come out in order to heal. I get that.
But is he,
Because like you said,
hurt? Is he upset? Like, is he?
No.
So
well,
he
like
doesn't
you
have a
said,
problem with the relationship. And neither does Jada doesn't have a problem with the relationship, correct?
No.
So then there's no problems. But Will had a problem with the relationship. Is that correct?
No, now, they said that Alcina said in his interview that Will gave him permission. Jada and Will said that's not true. So
well, that's all perception and interpretation.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That's all
Which I'm glad you brought up the word perception. Girl, do you realize I was looking at a video earlier on YouTube, and I'm gonna call him out because I think it's ridiculous. This guy, he's a male psychiatrist or whatever, Dr. Todd Grande. You can look him up. He did a quick, interesting analysis on Caucasian man on Will and Jada. And I summed it up, and he said, depressing and bad marriage ending in destruction used to scare people out of the idea of marriage. Do you see how people start perceiving? The perception of all of this from Will and them quoting on bad marriage for life and giving the fist bump, and people got mad and irate over that and saying that was sick. Okay, they said because they call their marriage a life partnership, they wanted to redefine the whole confines of marriage and call it a life partnership, and nothing Will or Jada can do will end their union. People blasphemy. However, isn't that the vows you take till death do us part? I don't get that. Now, I do find something wrong with you affirming bad marriage for life over your life, because what you speak will manifest. However, I love the fact that you are willing to support one another till death do you part.
Who said bad marriage for life? Will?
They did. They both did. And they said it at the same time, and then they fist bumped each other as if it was an inside joke, which I think that's what it was. And people just take it and run with it. Like you said, perception. Perception is everything.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
And then we don't know what Will has done during this marriage and relationship too. And I think anybody who's been married and everybody watching has probably a majority of the audience has been involved in some type of infidelity in their lifetime.
That was my whole reasoning.
More than sure of that. Yeah.
I'm sorry for talking over you. That was my whole reasoning for taking up for the underdog, because I agree with that, Keisha. I mean, we all have had inconsistencies, bad relationships. None of us can point the finger at Will or Jada. If you can, please rise up. Because why should we be doing that to them? All because she's presenting herself as a healer at the red table? Are we supposed to say, oh my gosh, she shouldn't be in that position or something? Why? Experience is the best teacher. I don't understand that concept.
When is it ever? I think we've been conditioned through media to be drawn to drama. Media's drama. Anybody that's doing anything, we're more drawn to the bad news than the good news. Because I did see a clip with what's her name, Lisa Ray. G.A. Lisa Ray. Should I say what G.A. stands for? But I thought that wasn't cool. Her and the other three females. I don't know if you all saw that on social media, because I turned it off because I'm like, people can't wait to take an opportunity to drag somebody through the mud or say something negative or say something bad, and they're laughing and cackling and they think it's funny and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm just thinking, like, that's so low class. You know, that's so. But you know what? That's Lisa Ray. You know, that's, if you ever met her or been around her, that's just her. That's her personality. You know what they say about the ghetto and that type of mentality. So I still think it goes back to, because there's been so many rumors for so many years, because I've even heard them. And I even wonder where, because, you know, we came from a time of a traditional marriage, which the world is very different from when they started, because they've been together forever. So if you, and people do download, people do get upset when a union, when they see your marriage as perfect, because this happened with my second marriage. When that ended, the people that got upset, because it was almost like we were lying to people. How could you portray a perfect marriage and this is going on? Because people have faith in that. They put hope in that. And you'd be surprised when people get divorced, how many people actually, even outside of marriage, you have no idea, actually get upset or disappointed. And it affects them. It really affects them on a deep level when something that they believe in just falls to pieces. And like you said, that has to stop.
Exactly. And that's where I think we go wrong, when we put all these expectations on people and put them on these pedestals. That's really your fault as a people. And that's why you're so disappointed. You did it to yourself. I don't put nothing past nobody.
Yeah,
I don't care who you are, you know. And evidently you haven't had enough experiences as a people to be the same way. Now I get it. If people feel like, okay, she brought herself to the red table as portraying like they had this perfect marriage, so now they feel deceived. I understand a little bit of that. But at the same time,
was it their perception that the marriage was perfect?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Your whole perception of that.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, we don't know what Will did. Well, guess what? She said something in that video. If we listen, we got to read between the lines. If we listen and stop assuming. Now, Jada said, they said they didn't want to go through that again. And Will said, well, I want to, after I get you back, in a joking way, right? And did you hear Jada, what she said? She said, well, I think we good on that. I think we're good on you getting me back. Okay. What did that tell you? He got her back already. Or he's done something that caused her to do something. The way they said that. And then he said, nah, I need to get you back. You know, and then that's when she was like, nah, I think we're good on that. You know, like, they said it without saying it. But when you've been when you've been in a marriage as long as they have, it's not reality to think that that's going to be a perfect marriage. That's not reality. Now, where they have brought their union, I feel like they actually have a marriage now. Because I feel like a marriage is not a really good, solid, true marriage until you actually have been through some things and then you say, I'm going to stick it out. Mm-hmm. Now, Derek Jackson said he don't care about Will or Jada. His problem is with how August Alsina was affected by it. And I get that too. However, he did throw shade at them for hurting August Alsina. Well, I'm going to say it again. Hurting people hurt people, Derek Jackson. You know what I mean?
Definitely not a Derek Jackson fan. But the thing is, if August Alsina could have been a consenting adult in this. He's over 21, you know, and evidently his pain body could have been attracted to Jada's pain body. So if the two of them don't have a problem with it, then it's not really a problem.
And why should we have a problem with it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why should we have a problem if they don't?
We should really be having a problem with all these Karens running around here.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to chime in.
Part two.
Oh, yeah, we gonna have, because the Karens.
Oh Lord, have mercy with the Karens. I don't really give a damn what Jada and Will have done because again, we all have done it. Or you're gonna. In some way, shape, or form, there has been something that has been hidden. And again, it takes time for you to get to a place where you are completely stripped and completely naked. And most marriages, people not gonna tell you when we went to the altar, it was, all cards on the table. Most of them was on the table until you got to this point in your life, and then you had to break that open and figure that out. And then you move on. And then you get to another place where you gotta go over that bump and crack that open. So you don't really know what you're going to do in any given situation. You don't know what your reaction is going to be. You don't know how you're going to be. Like we have seen them, the media, social media, Black Twitter, everybody tear up every relationship, whether like you said, Jay and Beyonce, Gabrielle and Dwayne, it tore them a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And the point is, like we said at the beginning, who's minding their business?
Can we
Minding the business that's paying them? Like I love that saying. I don't know where I got it from, but that to me is like, if you spending all this time minding other folks' business, what they're doing behind their closed doors, when are you tending to your own situationships, relationships, and entanglements, whatever you want? When are you tending to that? And I mean, it's not like we have to ignore the things that are going on, but I think we invest a little bit too much. Now we're all guilty of gossip and talking about things, but I mean, come on. There comes a time when you gotta be like, well, damn, I don't see Jada, Will, Beyonce, nobody name on none of these accounts, bills, checks. So I mean, like you said, Dara, where's the compassion for people and their growth and their path and all of this kind of stuff? True enough, they have signed up to have a public life, but they still have a right to some kind of privacy. Now, I think that August, this is his experience too. So he can tell it whenever he want to tell it, even though it happened many moons ago. He can say whatever he want to say when he want. He was in this experience as well. And so I think that's where a lot of people are, because it's not the first time this has been a speculation. They've been talking about this for years. But Jada and Will decided not to discuss it. And now, I guess since August decides to have an interview and bring it back up, then they would address it. That's their choice, And yeah, it's our choice to either watch it or not watch it, and we can pass judgment if we want to, but I would just, because there will come a time, there will come a day when you're not going to want everybody looking up in your shit.
Hello.
You're going to have confided in your girlfriends or your family or whatever, and then one day you and your mate or your friend or whatever are going to hit a bump, and then you're going to go to those same people, and you want them to be there for you. You want them to support. You don't want them to say, you know what, you don't deserve that. Get out of that marriage. Get out of that friendship right away. You don't want them to just, I don't know. I think we just need to have more compassion for people and growth. And growth can happen in any type of situation, any type of setting. It can come from anywhere.
And leave room for people to make mistakes and error. But it's funny that this is going on, because actually astrology says that we are in the day and time where everything is going to be exposed. Anything that's happened in the past is all going to come up and come out. So I'm really not surprised about that coming up and coming out, because like everything else is just bubbling up and coming to the surface for change to take place. But people minding other people's business because they don't have their own damn business. They don't have no business. They don't have anything better going on. That's why they get so entangled in other people's affairs and other things that's going on, because a majority of the world is not really doing too much. No wonder they want to come in here with this population control, because you really just hanging around here taking up space. Eating all food up, taking up space, using up this, because you're not being constructive, you're not doing anything, and then you want people want to get on and just talk bad and chop it up instead of let's talk about how we can solve this, or talk about how, you know, how we can resolve it, or how we can do better. But they are a perfect example of doing better because they can talk about it. They can talk about it, which is probably going to cause other people to want to talk about some things going on in their marriages that I'm sure of those 18 million people, probably a majority of half of them are having an affair right now.
Exactly.
And entanglement.
And hello.
Tomato.
So people,
that wasn't funny, but
people, you know what?
Saying.
The moral of the story is, like you said, mind a business that pays you. And I'm going to top that for my life because I love it. And people in glass houses should not throw stones. I mean,
everything is all fun and games until it's your house, until it's your marriage, until it's your relationship, until it's your business. It's always when we're always got that projection of from the outside, it can't happen to me, or that wouldn't happen to me, or, you know, that's their life. And, you know, no, it's a circular situation. And so we have to be mindful that nobody's perfect, you know, and I don't think they set out to portray we're the perfect family. No, they out, they taking pictures, they smiling with their family. Like, what else are they gonna do? Come out on the front lawn and argue? Like, it's just that's what I'm saying. Like, people say their perception of them is the perfect. Why? Because they always smiling in pictures. What else are they supposed to do?
And I don't really think that Jada intentionally set out to hurt August.
I don't think it's never most times intentional. It's just opportunity. Most people have affairs with opportunity. Where there's opportunity, that's what happens in broken people. And then we really have to study the concept of marriage and if that's even a thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that wasn't always a thing. So it evidently, if a majority of people are having affairs and falling short, then the institution of marriage may not be what we should be looking at for the future, because it might not make sense. You know what I'm saying? You can't be with somebody all those years and nothing ever happens. But that paper is not an original concept. That marriage is not an original concept of a human.
I love that.
That's something we adopted through that colonialism and everything else they indoctrinated within us was marriage. And we can talk about why they started marriages and marriage certificates in part 2, because we definitely gonna have to do a part 2 because
that's what I was getting ready to say. That's what I was getting ready to say. Let's do part 2 right now because we're ending this video.
We'll start with
this is gonna go out, but I think that people's perception of what marriage should be is kind of probably, you know, it's not the institution of marriage. It's the perception of what you think should happen in the institution of marriage. Because marriage is a wonderful thing if you go into it with the right perspective. But if you go in and thinking that this is going to be the answer to all of your problems and we're going to be happy-go-lucky every day and I'm going to be with my best friend every day and we're going to crush it and pop bottles and...
Yes. So coming up now, part 2.
That is not what's going down.
Yes. Let's talk about marriage, y'all. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.